your seatbelt. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Chrissie is hilarious.
Chrissie, have you ever heard of the comedian Basha K. Ali?
No, that sounds like something you yell out before you blow up a plane.
30 seconds remaining.
But you know what, good to say I dabbled in stand-up for something. I haven't been disrespectful to you at all.
I was very confused by the title, Everything Everywhere All at Once, because that's also what we call it when Ash takes off his shirt. I shouldn't be up here. I should be in school on the other side of the ocean. Well, hello. Hello there, boys and girls. Happy Tuesday afternoon. Sorry for starting late. We had a little bit of a internet snafu over here, but we are good as new. Hello. Hello, chat. I'm sorry. I kept you waiting. We started late and gay. I'm going to delve into a topic today that is new to me, but not new to maybe those of you in the chat and those of you who are maybe into the lore a little bit. So we're gonna do a dive, a little bit of maybe not a deep dive, a shallow dive. We're gonna dive into the chrischan lore. But before I get into that, guys, I am gonna be doing stand-up like in a month. Let me go to the website. It's gonna be Saturday, July 20th, right here in Westchester, in a little town called Mount Kisco. Jazz on Main is the venue. I will be there headlining. Keanu Thompson will be featuring for me. They have a menu. They have booze. They've got jazz, usually jazz, but they've been dabbling in comedy. So I'm very excited to go there. Here we go. Comedian Chrissie Mayr. That's me. jazzonmain.com. An extreme close-up of me. This is the picture they chose. Get your tickets now. Come see me and Keanu Thompson. Oh, look, no, there's no seating chart, but you can, it's a small venue. It's a little jazz club, so it's a very intimate setting. It'll be great. I'm so excited. Oh, there's 44 tickets per show available. I think it's at 7:00. There may be a late show as well. So check it out, guys. Get your tickets now before it sells out. jazzonmain.com to see me and Keanu Thompson. First stand-up show back after giving birth. Holy cow. Wow. Wowie wow. Very excited. Hello, chat. Hello, Mike, Richie, Emily, Brian, James. Some new people in here. Okay. So maybe you can like guide my hand along as we learn about chrischan. I first became curious about him honestly when the Nick Rekieta stuff all popped off and people were like, well, this is all because he put on this Sonichu medallion. And then I was like, there were videos citing all the times that someone's life completely went down the drain after they put on one of these Sonichu medallions. And a Sonichu medallion is Sonic the Hedgehog plus Pikachu. I guess they've combined the two characters into one nightmarish character that will ruin your life. I don't know if is there one person making these medallions or not. Is it just can you buy them? I'm now learning. Dick Masterson is now wearing the Sonichu medallion. Why aren't we warned? We should warn him. I've heard that it ruins lives. I like Keanu. She reminds me of a Feisty Go reporter for Man Old movie. Yeah, that's her vibe. So I don't know. She just received Dick Masterson just received a Sonichu medallion. See, this is so scary to me. If I ever got one, I would honestly move. I would be like, because we don't know who's sending them out. It's just like it's a bad omen, it seems. So anyway, chrischan is one of these people who was seen with one of these medallions and whose life went down the drain. But I've been told that he's autistic. that his chat convinced him to be trans, which is like, my God, that's a powerful chat right there. It's only $40. You can buy these, Emily. What? From where? I don't want one. I just think they should be studied in a lab somewhere. I think they should be studying them over at Wuhan. Okay, Chrischan is the creator of the Sonichu. Oh my goodness. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. All right, that makes a lot of sense. Whew. Okay. The new studio is coming along. Thank you for asking. We just were looking at paneling today, just earlier today. So we're going to be buying that pretty soon. And then we're going to start getting to work on hammering the little Betties up. Very excited because we're going to get the paneling. We got to stain it. We got to do wallpaper too. And I'm 99% sure about which furniture I'm going to get. So that is all in the works. But yeah, I'm so excited for it too. I'm excited to share it with you guys. Okay, so this is the Chrischan full lore on speed run, because I was like, let me start with a beginner. Let me start with Chrischan 101. There's so much to this man, I've been told. So we're going to start it up. Here we go.
On the 20th.
Oh boy. And also, this guy went to prison. I don't know the difference. Went to jail because he had adult time with his mother, which is just about one of the worst things you can do. It's very, very concerning. And so anyway, he's just recently gotten out of jail. So I figured, what better time than to learn about this interesting creature.
24th of February 1982, Christian Weston Chandler was born.
Kristen Weston Chancellor? Holy God, I totally missed.
On the 24th of February 1982, Christian Weston Chandler was born as Christopher Weston Chandler.
Christopher Weston.
Robert,
this is, oh my God, we're going into the parents? Good Lord.
Franklin Chandler Jr. and Barbara Ann Weston and Martha
Imagine somebody making this kind of video about me.
Jefferson Hospital, Virginia. One of Chris's earliest memories is being locked in a dark room at 18 months old.
He remembers being locked in a dark room at 18 months old? That's like, is that even a year and a half? Yeah, it is. It's a year and a half.
Abusive babysitter named Roach, which he claimed was the event that caused his autism.
This would
Caused his autism.
have lasting consequences.
This event also caused him to be a mute for the next 6 years.
Oh my God, he didn't talk for 6 years? That is horrible, though. Definitely don't lock your kids really anywhere, especially not somewhere dark, alone.
Chris was 2 years old. He would meet his original gal pal, Sarah Hammer. In 1987, Chris would attend Greene County Primaries, where he would then leave in 1990 to attend Nathaniel Greene Elementary School, where he would have the most traumatic.
I can't stand about like these school signs, and church signs do this too. They'll have something in quotes underneath the title of the school, like a great place to grow in quotes, like it's not really a great place to grow. Like, what do you mean? Why is it in quotes?
Experience of his life.
Like, I guess it wasn't a great place to grow, because look how Chrischan turned out.
Chris claimed while he was there, he would be abused by staff members. He recalls
Abused again. This is horrible. Was he wearing the medallion at the time?
times where he'd be pinned to the ground by multiple staff members, and his cries were recorded, and later was forced to sit on his homeless.
Recorded? That's horrible. Okay, I actually really feel bad for him now.
Sexual principal's lap and listen to him say inappropriate and offensive things to him. Chris would then leave Nathaniel Greene to be homeschooled. In 1991,
Oh God.
Sonic the Hedgehog would be released, beginning Chris's lifelong obsession. In 1992, he would change his name.
I see. Obsessed with Sonic the Hedgehog. I actually totally understand that, because as a person who had a Sega Genesis growing up, that was one of the 2 games we had. We had Sonic the Hedgehog and we had the Indiana Jones game. And the Indiana Jones game was like too complicated and scary for me. So I focused mainly on Sonic the Hedgehog. So I get it.
Name from Christopher to Christian after a bear animatronic at the mall mistakenly called him
Oh, this is the Five Nights at Freddy's bear.
Christian. Chris took this as a sign from God. In 1993, Chris would attend Providence Middle School, and later that year would win the Sonic the Hedgehog Watch and Win sweepstakes, becoming the.
How does his hair look so greasy already?
first of his many TV appearances. 1996 would be an eventful year for Chris. He would begin attending Manchester High School, where he claimed he had the best years of his life. It was also around this time where he would create his first ever original character, Bionic, after being hit in the head with a
Bionic.
basketball.
I've seen this too. This is also his creation. Wow. All right. I'm going to just slow this down a little bit. This man talks very fast.
Cool. Also in that year, the Pokemon franchise would be released in North America, beginning another.
All right. That sounds. Now he's like, that sounds weird. Putting it back.
Another of Chris's lifelong obsessions. In 1998, he began to use the internet to spread his creations by launching his first website, Quick's Pokesite. Quick being a word based on his initials CWC. In 2000, Chris
CWC does not spell quick. Sorry to tell you this, buddy.
would turn 18 years old. And on March of that year, the world would be changed forever. Chris was tasked with creating an album cover for his computer graphics class. One of the requirements was he couldn't use any.
Is this supposed to be a sombrero? Okay. I mean, I don't know. It's probably not that much better than the stuff I was doing in high school.
Copyrighted characters. So to avoid copyright, he would combine his two greatest obsessions, Sonic and Pikachu, creating the infamous Sonic!
This makes so much sense. It was his creation. All right. Wow. I'm just gonna make sure there's. I'm looking in the chat to make sure because you guys clearly know more than I do about this guy. I'm late to the party on chrischan. Kind of, it's a brilliant idea.
Sorry, I couldn't contain my excitement. In late 2000, Chris would graduate high school, losing contact with nearly all his friends. In September of 2000, Chris would begin attending Piedmont, Virginia Community College, studying computer-aided drafting and design. In October, he would launch his first website dedicated to Sonichu, Quick's Sonichu site. And later that winter, the prized historical artifact known as the Sonichu Medallion would be
It gives me shivers. What are those other little bangles on it? Are those other mini Sonichus?
created. In
It looks like it's made of gummies.
2003, Chris would realize how lonely he was and begin his love quest, a journey that's destination would be getting a girlfriend.
Yes, my love quest is finally over. And I guess that's a picture of him. It reminds me of Doug. Remember Doug from back in the day, except sadder and autistic.
To find his boyfriend free girl, he would create something called the attraction sign, which would
So look, he's manifesting. 21 and single, white male, seeking a cute 18 to 20 single female companion. And he made sure to put the female signs in there too, so there's no misunderstanding. If any men read this huge sign, mind your own business. Okay, just he's letting everyone know he's very straight.
would hang around campus that read, seeking an 18 to 21-year-old single female companion, along with his contact information. Eventually, the Dean of Student Services, Mary Lee Walsh, came into contact with Chris and tore it down on the grounds that Chris was soliciting sex. This caused Chris to
Oh no.
spark the fuck out. Later, Chris would create the first ever comic involving his characters, known as Sonichu number 0, which
Sonichu number 0. Wouldn't it be Sonichu number 1? I mean, isn't it good to create your own content? Aren't these healthy things?
with Chris and tore it down on the grounds that Chris was soliciting sex. This caused Chris to spark the fuck out. Later, Chris would create the first ever comic involving his characters, known as Sonichu.
He's saying hand-drawn premiere issue. Go, Sonichu, go out and zap to the extreme. I will. Thank you, Father. Zap to the extreme.
Number 0, which is the first issue, even though it says the 0th issue on it. For some reason, Chris formats his comic really weirdly. Each issue has multiple episodes to it, but the number
I'm like, this, what is this, Minecraft? This is so distracting to me. And I'm like so impressed because this guy knows exactly where to go and he's moving through this game so fast. I know it's just something to have on in the background so you don't get struck for something, but like, it's distracting for me. I don't know about you guys.
It doesn't reset like chapters in a book. No, it doesn't fucking do that because that would make too much sense. So you have episodes where it's episode 19, which is also part of issue 9, if that makes any sense.
These stairs remind me of Cubert. Remember Cubert?
There are also sub-episodes which are unrelated stories about Chris's life. Issue 0 details the origin of Sonichu is created when Supersonic collides with Pikachu while fighting the perfect chaos monster from Sonic. Chris also writes
Oh, wow. It's kind of cute.
a sub-episode, which is about a real-life encounter with mall security, which Chris calls jerk hops, where they get mad at him for apparently soliciting. This is based on
The chaotic combo. Can we buy this? Is this for sale anywhere? Has this been mass produced? Is this a mass market paperback I can get on?
a real event that
Flame the Sunbird is the protector of the Master Sunstone on the mysterious Rainbow Island. Okay, this just looks like a bunch of little Sonichu like characters that all look like Sonichu. Okay, yeah, look, it says, what does that say? Chicken Sonichu, the blue one. Sarama Pachu, Wesley Sonichu. Wow. Okay, they're like the Care Bears except autistic.
It happened in real life. In July of 2003, Chris began trying to
No comment.
find women at his local mall by holding his attraction sign and sitting in a populated area. Later at the game place, he would meet a new gal pal known as Megan Schroeder,
Oh, she looks real happy to meet him.
who he would try to win over in various Quagmirian ways. In September, Chris would be arrested and banned from his local mall because his means
Banned from the mall in the what 90s, early aughts. That's hard to do.
of getting a girlfriend were deemed as soliciting. Later, he would be suspended from PVCC for the same reasons. On February 5th of 2000,
Poor guy. He's just been like, up until this point, he's been abused. He's been banned from places. He's clearly a creative little guy, just trying to find an outlet, just trying to find a girlfriend. Up until this point, he seems very misunderstood and like he's just not getting the help he needs. At this point, I have sympathy for him.
2005, Anna McLaren would write a blog post about seeing Chris at the mall known as The Tale of the Crazy Pacer, making it the first ever documentation of Chris online that didn't come from Chris himself. On the 29th of March, Chris would be approached by a woman named Hannah at the mall, where she would ask him out on a date as a joke. Eventually,
How does this guy know all this, by the way?
Chris found out Hannah was never actually interested in him. After confronting her and realized the truth, Chris let
No. Wait, he drew this as part of his comic book?
out a big "No!" terrifying other customers, which led him to being banished from the mall once again. On his 25th birthday in 2007, Chris would create his iconic future message video. During this time, Chris would be getting especially hands-on with Megan. Chris would enter the Chop Chop Master Onions Rapid Showdown contest online in hopes of winning a trip to Seattle as you plan
He's got a lot of accoutrement. He's got a lot of pieces of flair, which means he could be a streamer.
on taking Megan too. Chris would try to ensure his victory in this contest by emailing everyone he's ever met, telling them to vote in his contest, and staying up all night making dumb accounts to rig the voting. On August 3rd, the results of the contest were released, and the winner turned out to be a man by the name of Adam Stackhouse. This, for some reason, gave Chris the wrath of Satan himself, and caused
Oh, right, because he really didn't want to be matched up with a dude. And that's what happened.
him to make a bunch of videos threatening Adam Stackhouse. On the 26th of October 2007, Chris was found by the Something Awful forums, introducing the world to Chrischan. Shortly after, an Encyclopedia Dramatica
Something Awful forums. Okay, so is that similar to like a Discord?
page was created to compile all the information discovered about Chris on Something Awful. Encyclopedia Dramatica is a site that's meant to be like Wikipedia, but as foul and as offensive as possible. So when Chris saw it, he was not pleased. To make matters worse, Chris and his characters have become the new thing to make fun of on 4chan's V-board, leading a man by the name of Evan Christopher George to start sending Chris gay fan art the boards have been making about him. Chris
Oh, okay. So I already see what's happening here. He declares that he doesn't like something, and then his chat just serves him up more and more of that. Oh dear. He's like if Funko Pops were a person. Oh no. Incel lore to the 10th degree. He's also a psychopath. Some autism is for good, others for evil. I've always said this. You need to use your powers for good. That includes autism. This is LOLCOW lore. Yeah. He is autistic and poorly watched after. A little part of his problem is being on the internet. Was Cubert the video game machine that made an audible and tangible thump near the floor when Cubert fell? I believe so. Guys, don't worry. I do not have one of these medallions. Again, if I were to receive one, I would take it out somewhere and light it on fire. I would kill it with fire.
Chris, being the Aryan that he is, was not pleased by this fan art. In response to seeing so much gay fan art of his characters, Chris would have a brilliant idea. He would draw straight porn of his characters. One image being of Chris.
Oh no. He drew straight porn. Oh god, this reminds me of one of my fans from Wet Spot called Michael Gavin Ali, who would write fanfic porn using himself as the main character. Yep. But is this an actual drawing of him? He's giving the thumbs up. Look, I'm with a woman. It's all good. For some reason, they're both Brown.
woman known as She Came for a Quick.jpg, who was eventually identified as his friend
He's even in this sexual cartoon wearing the Sonichu medallion.
Megan. This
And even his eyes are two different colors. Do we see that? All right.
would have lasting consequences. 3 months later, in March of 2008, Megan discovered She Came for a Quick.jpg and was understandably horrified and cut all ties with Chris shortly after. Also in August, a group
Oh no, heartbreak.
trolls came together under the alias of Blanco Weiss to catfish Chrischan and trick him into sending them his medallion. In October, trolls posing as Blanco would receive the Sonichu medallion in the mail from Chris and film a video destroying it. After going on hiatus from releasing new comics,
So I want to know, when did he start mass producing the medallions and sending them out to people? And are there other people sending out the medallions? Do you guys know? Chat, it's his JO medallion. The Sonichu medallion gets you laid? I don't know about that. I've only seen it ruin people's lives.
trolls would inform Chris that a boy named Brian Cash had killed himself after hearing that he would no longer be creating Sonichu comic. This is, of course, being completely made up just to fuck with Chris. In early January, Chris would meet a woman named Julie online and quickly
who looks exactly like the last girl. All right, he's got a type.
Start a relationship with her, even though he was already in another troll relationship at the time with the username Panda Halo. It was around this time that Chris would soon become aware of his new arch nemesis known as Clyde Cash, brother of Ryan Cash. In February, Chris had learned that Panda Halo had apparently died in a bushfire in Australia, which Chris seemed to get over really quickly, immediately moving on to date Julie. Towards the end of the month, Chris learned that the trolls had formed a group called the Miscreants dedicated to ensuring Chris would never get laid. On the 24th, the Miscreants would inform Chris they had captured Julie and were sending her to China. So in response, Chris would make the 400-mile journey to Cleveland, Ohio to save Julie. When he reached
Oh my god. Wait, this is 2007, so this is not before cell phones. Surely I just feel like he could fact check a lot of this before going all the way out there.
the address of Julie's house, he finds an old rundown house with no relation to Julie at all. The 3rd of March would go down in Chris.
So he's just like so easily fooled and everyone's taking super advantage of it. Kind of reminds me of who's that guy out in LA, like near Sherman Oaks? Me and Lila and Keanu went to his apartment. It was a complete wreck. Oh my God, what's his name? Everyone sends fast food to his house. He's constantly having a meltdown. His blood pressure is probably 200 over 100. His name will come.
Has possibly the worst ever day of Chris's life. Julie's fake brother, who was voiced by the same troll as Julie, would hack into Chris's PSN account to use his blackmail for Chris. Chris would join a mumble chat with Max to negotiate with him giving back his PSN, but Chris is forced to shove his Sonichu medallion up his ass while being
Yes, Perry Caravello. All right, Perry Caravello. Yeah, another example of someone whose audience and maybe also their handlers take advantage of them.
Even though he was already in another troll relationship at the time with the username Panda Halo. It was around this time that Chris would soon become aware of his new arch nemesis known as Clyde Cash, brother of Ryan Cash. In February, Chris had learned that Panda Halo had apparently died in a bushfire in Australia, which Chris seemed to get over really quickly, immediately moving on to date Julie. Towards the end of the month,
so detailed. How did this person find out all these details about him? Is all of this public?
Chris learned that the trolls had formed a group called the Miscreants dedicated to ensuring Chris would never get laid. On the 24th, the Miscreants would inform Chris they had captured Julie and were sending her to China. So in response, Chris would make the 400-mile journey to Cleveland, Ohio to save Julie. When he reached the address of Julie's house, he finds an old rundown house with no relation to Julie at all. The 3rd of March would go down in Chris as possibly the worst ever day of Chris's life. Julie's fake brother, who was voiced by the same troll as Julie, would hack into Chris's PSN account to use his blackmail for Chris. Chris would join a mumble chat with Max to negotiate with him giving back his PSN, but Chris is forced to shove his Sonichu medallion up his ass while being recorded. Later, the troll posing as Julie would audio call Chris on
Oh no.
Mumble and reveal himself to Chris. After having his heart broken by another fake online girlfriend, Chris would link up with a new fake girlfriend. This being Emily, who's actually played by a real girl this time, which is kind of a step up, I guess. Emily and Chris would plan a date at Charlottesville Fashion Square, but Chris actually stood her up because his parents were fighting over if she was real or not. They then rescheduled the date to take place 2 days later. Chris unknowingly falling right into her plan. Chris would meet up with Ivy, accompanied by his dad for some fucking reason. When suddenly, the man in the pickle suit would descend from the heavens to cuck Chris, taking Emily.
Why would you? Oh my God. All right. Seems like his parents are too involved in his life, but that's to be expected when you are autistic and have problems like that.
From him. On the 17th of March, another fake new love interest named Ivy would reach out to Chris asking for a shout out, which would quickly lead to a relationship forming between the two of them. For some fucking reason, Chris ramped up the creepiness by about 10 notches with her.
Hi, Ivy. I love you.
Oh no. First of all, he's got He's got to learn he's got to go to man school, and he's got to take that octave down a few levels. He's got to speak from his chest, not his neck. Even I watch videos on this sort of thing.
All this happened in the span of about a month, and Chris was with 3 different women. What an absolute fucking pimp! A troll would message Chris pretending to be Vanessa Hudgens, and they had Issa.
Oh no, this is exactly what they do to Perry Caravello. People message him pretending to be Gina Carano. Oh man.
Ivy found out they had E-sex and got mad at Chris, so Chris in response proposed to Ivy. Eventually, Chris would realize Ivy was a troll and return to his old methods of attracting women in public. In June, Chris would go to a local bar with the troll Kim Wilson, who, side note, is played by the same troll as Emily. Chris somehow saw both personas in real life and in person, and somehow didn't realize that they were the same person playing different characters. It would take Chris 11 years to realize the woman behind both personas was a troll. Chris would continue.
Oh no, 11 years. Poof. That's horrible. Does he not have any close friends or family, like somebody to be like, shake him and be like, Chris, they're fucking with you.
You go into bars with Kim Wilson and would land a date with a fat woman who would quickly ghost him after their first.
Okay, but this woman also seems like she is on his level and like his pace. I'm sure they're lovely together. Oh, what's up, Star Wars girl? You gotta watch the 66-part doc. There's a 66-part documentary on him. Who has the time? I didn't realize he lived enough life for a 66-part documentary. Yikes. Okay. Deranged Lunatic. The only game I had was a stick and a string. Pilgrim Media. Are they devil worshippers, Christy, or Spurgs? Christy. Oops, I read it wrong. I'm going to go with Spurgs. He is the most documented man ever to live. Yeah, I guess because if he's just doing everything online. Each part is an hour long, so there's 66 1-hour films about this guy. Whew. Have you seen them all, Anna? I really hope not. Oh no, it's too late. I'm going down the rabbit hole. It's too late. You can't save me. I'm already here.
Interaction. In mid-July, Chris would have the brilliant idea to troll the trolls. He would attempt to get them to think he was actually playing a character this whole time, and that Kristen West and
I had glasses like that.
Chandler was never a real person. He do this by uploading a video where he pretends to be a normal person known as Rollin' and Trollin'. This is what Chris thinks a normal person looks like. Later, a man who fans would dub Liquid Chris would begin uploading videos to YouTube pretending to be Chris and would claim he made lots of money off the Sonic Shoe franchise.
Chris was not pleased.
And would make the first of many videos manically screeching about Liquid, which eventually would start a back and forth between the two. To settle the rivalry, Real Chris starts the SingStar.
Oh, look, see, there's the brown version. Is that the one that went in his butt?
Challenge, which is a singing competition whose winner will be dubbed the real Chris. Chris would lose. Even Chris is shit at being Chris. As the rivalry between the two Chris's continues, it became more and more apparent that Chris is doing this in an attempt to steal Liquid Chris's girlfriend Casey, who is fat and I don't like. Towards the end of August, we would possibly get my favorite bit of Chris lore ever made. Chris would upload the usual video to his channel.
Does he do all of his videos standing up like this? Just standing up and yelling? Maybe he has a standing desk and he's just trying to work on his health.
About trolls and shit. But eventually people would notice something unusual about the video. Halfway through, the door opens and suddenly cuts.
God, what a mess. Like, it's giving me anxiety just to look at his place. And I should freaking talk, right? Like, okay, this is very much a mess right now. But now that I'm looking at somebody else's mess, it gives me a lot of anxiety.
A few seconds later. So people were wondering what happened that Chris had to cut out. And it did not disappoint. In the uncut video, Bob walks in and starts yelling at Chris about getting that goddamn stuff off of there and fast. Yeah, at the end of 2009, Chris started answering mailbags, which revealed Chris's hatred towards people with Asperger's syndrome. During this time, trolls would start adding gay ads to the Wikipedia, which rustled Chris's jimmies. In fact, Chris's jimmies were so rustled that he sent a letter to Obama himself to try to get the United States government to ban the ads.
He sent a letter to Obama. Wow, maybe he invented online censorship.
Alec Benson Leary would begin creating a comic known as Aspertu to piss
Aspertu. Uh-oh.
off Chris, and Chris would declare war against Aspertu. In late January, Chris revealed that he had actually managed to befriend a real-life woman who will be known as the Wallflower for reasons that I will reveal later. Surprisingly, the 10th issue of Shauna 2 didn't take an entire year to make, and it was released in February. Issue 10 was probably one of the most...
Wow. Well, hold on, is this Comic Sans he's using as a font? I'm keeping your glasses as a trophy of my revenge against you, jerk. This is For my mother. At least I will not have this issue to deal with in my teen years. Die, scum.
Most deranged issues in the entire series. It
All right, Daddy, let's finish him.
involves Chris curing the world of homosexuality.
The janitors need a ton of 409 cleaner to clear all the Evans blood and guts off the floor. Sean was, oh God, something horrible. Allison, Bill, and Kelly. And it's darker brown. Oh my God, a little violent. Okay, a little bit of violence in here.
Homosexuality by using his own blood. Later in the comic, Chris sentences real-life trolls to death in various gory ways. In March, Chris created a Little Big Planet level which contained the Wallflower's real name, which led to her getting doxxed and harassed. Chris, in response, to break the fuck out, even though it was him who caused it in the first place. In April, Chris began a relationship with another troll named Jackie. That same month, Chris make a
Again, she looks okay. She looks like the last three. Brown hair, white girl. Typical.
holy pilgrimage to the game place to attempt to get unbanned by the owner, Michael Schneider. Upon hearing Schneider didn't want him back, Chris awakened his ancient Yamnaya tribe sorcery, also known as anti-Semitism.
Okay, that's good edit.
June, Chris got drunk and felt the road calling to him. Chris had the brilliant idea to go to the game place and take a picture of Michael Snyder to use as a dartboard. Michael noticed Chris trying to take a photo of him and chased him outside to his car, where he nearly hit Snyder. Around this time, Chris and Jackie's relationship would grow even stronger. Though a new foe was on the horizon, Jackie's ex-boyfriend Lars was a buff ghetto black guy who was obsessed with toy boats. Chris soon after would start uploading videos attacking Lars. Towards the end of 2010, Chris for the 6th time that year would attempt to leave the internet. While he was gone from the internet, his home life would get even worse. In March, Chris emailed Jackie claiming to be a tom girl. This would have lasting consequences. In May of 2011, Chris would join.
He claimed to be a tom girl? Oh, the opposite of a tomboy. Got it.
In a troll-created forum called Tomboys and Tomgirls of Virginia, where he spent most of his time on the internet. In June, Chris revealed that he started using the women's restroom. Chris's Tomgirl phase.
Oh, he just started using the women's restroom. We're too nice and we just let people in and this is what happens. Okay. This is our problem as women. We feel bad. Oh, he's just using the bathroom. What could possibly happen? Well, we see what happens. Gender bending foreshadowing. Yes. This is, it's more drama in the past 10 minutes than my entire life. This is lifetimes of drama. He's like a magnet for drama. He also just, everyone kind of ganged up on him. Chrissy, this is the channel you need to watch if you want to see a full story of Chris Chan. Ooh, how long is that one, Anna? Anna, I'm going to send you a link. I don't know if you're busy or not, but maybe you can add some color. Add some color to this discussion. Okay, I'm clicking. She sent me the link on a DM. Wow. So this is like this guy, Gino Samuel, is like a Chris Chan researcher. How very specific. Okay. That's his niche, though. This video is just a Cliff Notes. Tom girl doesn't sound as dumb as femboy. No, it doesn't. It almost sounds like a real thing. Okay.
Did not go over well with his parents. Bob called him a fat, and Barbara threatened to kill him. On September 6th, Chris's father would pass away due to heart failure. After Bob's passing, the trolling of Chris would die down for the
Oh, yeah, he looks a little. You can just tell by his face something is amiss.
time being, leaving the only person left to troll Chris would be Chris himself. On the 4th of April, Chris revealed he finally lost his virginity to a prostitute on the site Backpage, which is shut down by the FBI for sex trafficking.
Oh,
Whoops.
no.
Chris's internet activity at the end of
No. Very few men look good with long hair.
2012 and early 2013 would be minimal, with only small amounts of Facebook activity. On the 10th of January 2014, Chris's fucking house would burn down.
Oh,
After
no!
the house fire, early signs of the Chandler's terrible financial situation would become more and more apparent. In August, Chris would come out as a lesbian.
Oh, God, no. See, you men, you never know how to... You never do this right. You never hit it just right. Like, you guys that look like this, that want to transition, you need to do it the Caitlyn Jenner way. All right. You need to go underground for many months. You need to learn the ways of womanhood, because you can't just emerge like willy-nilly. You can't just go to TJ Maxx once, buy the first thing you see, and then you have this. You gotta study it. You gotta get in shape. You gotta get some sort of boobs going. This is terrible.
Identified male / cross-dressing tranny. His words, not mine. On the 18th, Chris would announce on Facebook that he had a new girlfriend named Catherine. Do I even need to elaborate at this?
So this is a drawing of him and his girlfriend. This is him as a girl, and apparently both of them have broken knees. But they're so in love, they don't feel it.
point, it's a fucking troll, obviously. At the end of the month, Chris is going on a date with Catherine, where Chris will do a tour of his rental house. In September, Chris will start selling customized merchandise. This would have lasting benefits. In October, Chris would spurred the fuck out of the fact that Sega had changed Sonic's arms to blue, and a month later, Chris encouraged his followers to boycott Sega and
What color were they before? White?
riot in the streets and vandalize Sega property. The day after Christmas, Chris would be arrested for pepper spraying an assistant at GameStop during one of his acts of protest. In January, their pairs on his
Pepper sprayed someone at a GameStop. Who even thinks to bring... yeah. If you're a man that carries pepper spray, you're kind of a fag. Let's be totally honest.
His house were finished and he'd moved back into his old house. In May of 2015, it was revealed that Chris was possibly taking hormone replacement pills and would soon after begin using the name Christine and going by female pronouns, which I will not be respecting. In the following month, he would attend his final court case and be charged with $541 for the pepper spray incident. In January of 2016, Chris would advertise his idea of a lesbian sleepover party to the internet and surprisingly
Oh, what? Is that a tiny ponytail coming up or is it just grease? And again, if you're trying to be a female, you need to zhuzh up your room. I need to see some like Christmas lights or something. It needs to be dim. You can't be having these cardboard boxes out like this. Very bad.
no one was interested. In July, after watching hours worth of male to female hypnosis videos on YouTube, Chris would begin to believe that his vagina was forming beneath his taint. So Chris...
He believed a vagina was forming in his body.
Male to female hypnosis videos on YouTube. Chris would begin to believe that his vagina was forming beneath his taint. So Chris would use a knife and cut it out of his body.
No! He cut his taint out of his body? Oh, this is terrible. This is getting worse and worse.
The Kiwi Farms would start begging Chris to receive medical attention because an injury like this could easily have killed him. Luckily, after enough convincing, Chris would go see a doctor. In August, Chris would defend incest on Facebook and would admit to having sexual dreams about Barb.
In the business, we call this foreshadowing.
In November of 2016, Donald Trump, or as Chris would know him, would be elected president of the United States. Chris was not pleased and would start uploading death threats towards Trump. During this time, it was discovered that most of the money Chris gained through eBay was going to video games and toys instead of paying off Chris and Barb's tens of thousands of dollars of debt. In late March, Chris would start filming... In late March, Chris would start flirting with Planet Dolan artist...
Oh my god. A blonde. He's changing it up.
Doopy Do Over. In April, Barb's account was overdrawn by $800. So to get some quick cash, Chris sold a Sonic Totem on eBay for...
This is like if our world is ever covered up by mud, like if there's like a second Tartaria situation and they excavate it like thousands, millions of years later and they find this and this is what they use to like judge the human race by. They're going to be like, oh, they didn't achieve much, I guess.
For $1,500 and immediately spent $750 on Skylanders and $400 on a gold necklace instead of actually paying off the $800. In April, Chris would do some archaeological digging and unearth the ancient artifact known as the Classic after it was thought to be lost in the house fire of 2014.
He couldn't just buy another one of those shirts?
Later, Chris would create an original character for My Little Pony known as Nightstar, who is yet another wish fulfillment Mary.
Oh, it has his eyes because he does the two different colored eyes for himself. I'm learning.
Months later, Chris would create an original character for My Little Pony known as Nightstar, who is yet another wish fulfillment Mary Sue self-insert character. In August, Chris would subscribe to Doopy Do Over's pornographic patron art account. Good idea, Chris. Buy porn while you're in extreme debt. Great idea. 4 days later, Doopy would create a Kiwi Farms account and would detail Chris stalking her Twitter accounts and flirting with her through a business email. In September, a white knight known as Jessica Quinn would start a relationship.
Business email. Good Lord. What's up, Matthew Hammond? I would say, what do we do to deserve a live stream? Oh, like this is a good thing. And then I realized the internet was a mistake. Indeed.
Relationship with Chris. Side note, let's take a look at Jessica Quinn's liked Facebook pages, shall we? In October, Chris would finish Sonichu issue number 12, which involves Rosa Chu.
SLGBTQ. Oh, Sonichu, lesbian, gay, bi, trans, queer. I mean, his little drawings are cute.
Getting fucking fat! Thanks, Jessica! I needed just... That same month, Jessica's account was allegedly hacked by trolls, causing Chris to make a cool, common, collected video in response to the situation.
Oh, look at all his trinkets. Oh no.
In November, Chris would be introduced to the Hyperdimension Neptunia franchise. This would have lasting consequences, and would begin posting some very out-of-character things on his Twitter. Little did anyone know, behind the scenes, Chris was being manipulated by a man named Jessica Wise, who would form a cohort of trolls known as the Idea Guys. Wise would contact Chris role-playing as John Yamada, and told Chris his old Sega Dreamcast had a
Only photo I could find of Chris's old Sega Dreamcast. Oh man. Can we get him in a room without like a white background?
portal to Quickville, and that the lore of Hyperdimension Neptunia was actually real. Joshua would manipulate Chris into thinking the world of Quickville was real by pretending to be characters from Chris's world and using these.
Hold on, did he not have any kind of a job? Did he not work at any point? Or is this all just stuff he did in his free time? Do we know about a job? Okay. You guys will tell me if there's Oh my god, it's Anna!
There we go. Say something.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh my
Nope.
god, Anna, so I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. My
Okay.
computer was just muted.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Why?
Have you known
Yes.
about this man since the beginning of time? I'm just now.
No. I found out about him about 3 years ago, but why are you diving into Chrischan?
I've just been very curious. You know what it is? Because it's ever since they were like, well, Nick Rekieta had a Sonichu medallion, and that's what screwed up his life. And then I'm like, well, where did these come from?
Oh, okay. Did
And
you
then I
watch
thought
Gundam's video on it?
no, but everyone's telling me that he's the expert.
He is. He's the reason I know. Well, actually, Aiden Paladin is the reason I know, but then Gundam is the one that sent me that channel I sent you.
Oh, wow. Okay, so he's another Chrischan historian.
In a way, I think he just follows the train wreck that is Chrischan. But I'm pretty sure, chat, correct me if I'm wrong, Chrischan is the reason Kiwi Farms exists because that's
Whoa.
that stalk him.
He birthed a whole section of the internet. See, up until this live stream, I thought that Chrischan also received a Sonichu medallion. I thought they were coming from a different place, but he's the source of it.
Yes. I'm not familiar with this documentary you're watching, but they're leaving out so much information.
This is the speed run. This is the Chrischan full lore on speed run. This is only a 20-minute video.
Okay.
And yeah, we thought it would be a good like Chrischan 101. But if I'm missing crucial points, then maybe I should find another one.
They haven't highlighted the fact that they're leaving out. So Chrischan, he's severely autistic, but he's also an asshole. And I feel like you need to know that.
Yeah, this video is not communicating that.
Yeah, because I feel like it's just, like here's an autistic person that people on the internet make fun of. No, he's a fucking asshole that dishes it back and then plays on his autism like, oh, you're attacking me. It's like, no, you're just as bad.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Do you know how this story ends, by the way?
Oh, I know how it ends. Yes,
Okay.
I know about the mother loving. That's
Okay.
I'm like, how do we get to that? How does a person get to a place where they're doing that? He just seems very confused about himself.
I haven't heard. So again, I only started listening to you like 10 minutes ago. Did this person explain the posters or Chrischan's desperate desire for a girlfriend?
Yes, how he would go to the mall with like a Steven Crowder-esque type setup and say like, I want a girlfriend, prove me wrong, or something like that. Like he would have a sign that would just say like,
he had a poster that said looking for a boyfriend-free girl and like describing how
what? Oh,
yeah,
a girl with no boyfriend. That's kind of funny, actually.
And he would get really mad at girls if they had boyfriends. And then he was at like some community college where he was trying to post these posters and the flyers, and it got to the point where he was like harassing women about it, and so he got kicked off the campus. He got in trouble with the teachers. It's a whole shit show. And then there's also the Sonichu comic stuff, and then the porn stuff, and then people suspected he was gay, and he's extremely homophobic, so he didn't like that.
But then he transitioned, which is also pretty gay.
Well, again, there's more and more to this rabbit hole.
All right, if Chrischan were a pie chart, how big of the pie would you say is him being an asshole versus him being manipulated by his chat? Is it 50-50?
No, I'd say he's the bigger asshole, and then the chat is just like poking fun at him.
70-30 asshole?
85-20.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, this video does not mention that.
I think it's just going over like this is the timeline that
Bullet
things
point.
happened versus here's the little details on what
And why?
happened. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Characters as leverage against him to do stupid shit. In January, Chris would go to MagFest after hearing they had planned a
Do you know what MagFest is? Is that like a MegaCon?
I don't know what this one is. He went to a lot of things. At one point, the trolling. So he's obsessed with Sonic, right? And so
Right.
they trolled him to make him believe that the creator of Sonic and the leader of Sega was gonna hire him to work on Sonic.
Oh god.
Oh yeah, and so it's they're saying it's an anime con. Yeah, there's a
How
whole.
come he would think like people are not contacting him directly for a job? They're just letting other people know, and then those people are able to convince
They're
him.
just creating fake emails and contacting
Oh
him.
man.
And like the whole fake girlfriend thing, a girl even like met up with him at like the mall and he was being a total creeper with her. It's a very deep rabbit hole you just got into.
Who has the time? It seems like many people are making the time to screw with him. Like,
Well, you have to think this has taken place over the course of like over a decade,
wow.
maybe almost 2 decades now at this point. And so it seems like a lot talking about it, but when it's like once or twice a week.
Okay. Okay, interesting.
panel about his life. This would be
other
one of the
authors.
few times where Chris seemed genuinely happy. During this time, Chris would keep uploading videos at the hands of the idea guys. Eventually, Kiwi Farms would investigate the manipulation taking place and would find Joshua Wise's personal information and publicize it. But it was futile. In March, Chris would announce that his love quest had finally ended. He was now in a polyamorous marriage with him, Magichan, and Chriselle Rosechew.
There's so many different of the Sonichu characters in different colors.
Just wait until you see the porn.
Oh god.
420, the funny weed day. The idea guy's manipulation would reach its peak after a group shot was made where they role-played torturing Chriselle. Keep in mind that from Chris's perspective, he's watching his wife have her limbs blown off. It's pretty fucked. If that wasn't bad enough, the next day he was forced to film himself jerking off while singing All-Star. During this time, Kiwi Farms users Marvin, Noel, and the captain form a group known as the Guard Dogs to protect Chrissy. Chris would attend.
Oh no.
You
Okay.
skipped all the way back. Wait, did they talk about the Fanta yet?
No.
Oh no. Okay.
Right?
Yeah, so Chris has this theory that when you jerk it as a guy, when the stuff that comes out of you, like you're losing your essence of your children, so he would jerk
I've
it
heard
in,
that.
well, he jerks it into Fanta and then he drinks it.
No. No. Why a Fanta?
I don't know. I don't know.
God.
And they got him to do it on camera.
Oh no. Well, wouldn't he have gotten banned if he had his junk out?
No. Like they know what's in the. Oh god, I'm gonna puke just talking about this.
He's relieving himself on camera, but his junk is off camera.
I don't know if it's on camera or not. I just know that he drinks the cum-filled Fanta on camera.
Ah.
Aren't you glad you got
Maybe-
into this part of the internet?
The taste of Fanta is so strong. No, I don't think there's any soda that's strong enough to cover that up. You'd have to. I could not that I would understand it, but I would almost understand putting it into a smoothie. Like you could mask.
Oh
the
my god.
with some banana and some protein powder. Oh, why am I talking about this? Okay.
Find Joshua Wise's personal information and publicize it. But it was futile. In March, Chris would announce that his love quest had finally ended. He was now in a polyamorous marriage with him, Magichan, and Chriselle Rosechew. On 420, the funny weed day. The idea guy's manipulation would reach its peak after a group shot was made where they role-played torturing Chriselle. Keep in mind that from Chris's perspective, he's watching his wife have her limbs blown off. It's pretty fucked. If that wasn't bad enough, the next day he was forced to film himself jerking off while singing All-Star. During this time, Kiwi Farms users Marvin, Noel, and the captain would form a group known as the Guard Dogs to protect Chris against the idea guys. And shortly after,
Why do groups of trolls need like a team name for themselves?
Yeah, I think it's just for us to keep track.
Okay. Seems stupid.
After would successfully get Chris to cut ties with the idea guys. Even though Chris was free from their control, the effects of their manipulation would last forever. 3 months later, Noel revealed the extent of the damage the idea guys had done to Chris. Apparently, the idea guys had extorted over $6,000 out of Chris. During the summer of 2018, Chris would start becoming more and more fascinated with the concept of alternate dimensions. And in October, would upload a video.
Oh, look at him. Oh, boy.
Oh, this is already like close to present time right now.
Does he just only wear striped shirts?
I think it's an autism thing.
Oh.
He announced at the beginning of what he calls the dimensional merge. This is where shit gets really confusing, so pay attention. The dimensions 1218, the dimension we live in, and the dimension C197, the world where all fictional characters reside in, will combine to form a larger dimension known as 1C-211987 on the 31st of December of that year. And that Chris was responsible for all these dimensions colliding successfully. And not only that, but Chris is a console patron unit, or CPU, which is a goddess that represents game console, and Chris is the goddess of the Commodore 64. This is based off the idea guy's manipulation with the Hyperdimension Neptunia franchise. Basically, TLDR, Chris is God and is gonna make Sonic shoot in real life. He also mentioned that Megan Schroeder, the girl he sexually harassed a decade ago, it actually got us too, because she just can't get a fucking break, can she? Chris would scour the entire internet trying to find Megan to tell her that she's actually an anime goddess. Megan responded by telling Chris never contact her again, and that she keeps that motherfucking thing on her. Around this time, Chris would start smoking weed with a group of teenagers known as the Teen Squad. And if you're
Teen Girl Squad? No, Teen something else squad. Trans squad.
wondering why I censored that last word, it's because apparently there's a slur or something. The Teen Truth Squad were a bunch of enabler little shits that fed into Chris's delusions by saying they could see Magichan. During December, they would leak a number of videos, including one of Chris making out with Crizelle. After the 31st of December came
Wait, making out with a cartoon character. All right.
went without any signs of the dimensions merging. Chris would push back the date of the merge due to damn dimensional red tape. That's my Chris impression. An enabler named MKR Nightview would get in contact with Chris and would cuddle his delusions about the dimensional merge by saying that she too was a CPU goddess of the Nintendo Switch console. Apparently, her goal with Chris is to give him moral support and to better him. During this month, large creators Chris and
There's nobody like in this world that actually likes or cares for him.
I don't think so. I mean, maybe his mom now, and then I think he's got like some older siblings. Jack can confirm that because his parents had him like really late in life, which is I think part of the cause of his autism.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Hopefully,
But,
the Bean will be the next Chrischan.
Who?
The Bean.
Oh no, your kid is probably an angel. Like Chrischan is the devil at this point.
Oh my goodness.
interacted with would start blocking him on Twitter, which caused Chris to have an absolute fucking meltdown, comparing it to his trauma of being abused in his childhood at Nathaniel Green Elementary. In March, Chris uploaded a video of a package he received from yet another group of enablers, Sarah and Steve, who sent him a Nintendo Switch along with a note detailing their plans to move to Virginia with specific instructions to not let this letter get leaked online. Chris seemed to realize that he accidentally leaked the note on video, so he took the video down. Then re-uploaded it immediately after, with nothing altered and the note still clearly visible. At around this time, a man named Jacob Stockness was gaining attention online, who is a psychopathic, autistic, evil wizard man who is in love with Chris and claims to be possessed by the god of war and death, Jacoba, and claims to kill homeless people with magic. Stockness' own delusions would start to...
Is this the note? Or is this part of his comic book? This reminds me of Teen Girl Squad, the crude drawings.
influence Chris. Ideas like the world of Kitsune and the species known as the Rocat and the demonic god Jacoba would be accepted.
Wow. Okay. Like I just look at this page and I go, all right, this looks like someone who hasn't left the house in a while.
This fact in Chris's mind. This month we would see Chris's mental state drop to new lows. Magichan would possess Chris's fucking body and would upload videos of himself talking to prove his body was possessed by Magichan. During the time his body was possessed, Chris's soul would
He just needs like a hot shower and anytime you see like a tarp or a blanket on a window, that's not good.
His house is always an absolute disaster.
Does he live by himself?
No, he lives with his mother. Well, he's always lived with his parents. I can't remember how long ago his father passed away, but
Right.
his
just a couple
mother is
years
like
here.
dying of dementia.
Okay, so she doesn't have the wherewithal to go in and like take the blankets off the windows.
Not anymore, but I don't think she was the cleanliest person before she started losing it.
Ugh.
apparently be in California with Sockness, where they would arrange to have Sockness visit him in his home. For hearing this, Kiwi Farms would start digging deeper into Sockness' background and would discover statements of him saying that if Chris didn't accept his sexual advances, he would rape him. Fortunately for the world, Chris and Sockness were too stupid to plan something else, so they get into an argument which ends up with Jacob not visiting him. Chris later claims Sockness was corrupted by evil. Then a short time after would become friends with Sockness again and plan to meet up on Halloween, which doesn't end up happening because both of them are very lazy and stupid. In the beginning of November, Sockness would get Chris to believe that Noel, the person who was actually trying to help him, was the devil incarnate. In March of 2020, the U.S. would go into lockdown because of the coronavirus, which would make Chris's jimmies extremely rustled because he couldn't go to the Bernie convention BabsCon to go up with the entire outside world being shut down. Not that he interacted with it much anyways. Chris would cope by swapping bodies with Sonichu. Pause. So from this point on, if I say Chris did this or Chris did that, I'm referring to Sonichu and Chris's body, but obviously Sonichu is not real, but it makes more sense for the lore. In July of 2020, Chris and Sonichu would finally cut off contact with Sockness, and a month later, Chris would release an updated house tour. In October, Chris would meet with a group of enablers known as the Praetors, who would coddle Chris's delusions and would sell Sonichu merch, with Chris getting a cut of the profit. Also in October, Chris would make first contact with a woman named Isabella Loretta Janke.
This would have the most lasting of consequences.
In October, Bella would create an animated intro for Chris. In February of 2021, Chris and the Praetors would start selling custom Sonichu medallions. Later in February, Chris would have the idea of using
Okay, so these other people are selling the medallions. So anytime somebody gets one, it's not from chrischan. It's from one of these other people.
I think he makes them, but other people make them as well. Well, I don't. Is he out of prison yet, chat? Like, I don't know if he can
I heard he
currently
is
make
out.
them. I don't know. I'm not up to date on what's been going on. I've been awaiting the trial, though.
Oh boy. Okay.
using a stun gun to tase a quartz crystal to activate the dimensional merge. This idea is retarded, but thankfully the Praetors convinced Chris not to do it. And at the end of the month, Chris would finally cease being possessed by Sonichu. Around the time of Chris returning to himself, conversations with Bella would become more and more regular, with her planning to manipulate him into killing himself. In April,
That's horrible. I don't know. I just feel like these people have no scruples. Even if he is an asshole, that's you don't want to.
I think you need to know like the context of everything. This is like the spark notes of the spark notes.
Yeah, but like manipulating somebody into ending their own life, that's pretty horrible.
Yeah, I don't know the context there, but
Chris would receive his government stimulus check and spend it all on magic rocks. Chris would also get vaccinated this month.
Hail Fauci!
Matt Baker!
Hail Fauci! Hail Fauci!
During the early summer of 2021, Chris would start mentioning his lust for a new sweetheart in this dimension, and shortly after would allude to having found his new sweetheart in this dimension. Unfortunately for the human race, Chris would reveal to Bella on an audio call that his new sweetheart in this dimension was actually his own mother. On the 29th of July, all hell would break loose. The user Eldude Rocks would leak the audio of Chris admitting to having sex with his own mother. In Greene County primaries.
Oh no, I did it again.
oh no.
I brought it to the beginning. Why do I do that?
They ceased being possessed by Sonichu. Around the time of Chris returning to himself, conversations with Bella would become more and more regular, with her planning this dimension. Unfortunately for the human race, Chris would reveal to Bella on an audio call that his new sweetheart in this dimension was actually his own mother. On the 29th of July, all hell would break loose. The user
29th of July. What year is this? What year did people find out he had
Like
relations?
2020?
Oh my God! So
Or
God, I
2021?
thought I had a bad pandemic. Jeez.
user Eldude Rocks would leak the audio of Chris admitting to having sex with his own mother. And the next day, Chris would be removed from his house by social services. During this time, the internet would be set on fire, and the phrase "Chrischan did what" became the number one trending on Twitter, with thousands and thousands of posts detailing the news. And the next day,
Wow.
Chris would be arrested by jerk cops
Hey, there he is.
at an inn in Richmond. Shortly after the leak, Kiwi Farms would begin investigating the woman on the phone with Chris and the leaked audio. There's a lot more lore about her, and she's really yucky, so go somewhere else to learn the stuff. Chris would begin the first of many court dates relating to his affair with his mother. Over a month later, Chris would send a letter to the Knoll of the Kiwi Farms detailing how Chris is actually Jesus. In October, trolls would start sending letters to Chris.
Okay, let's say Chris didn't have any relations with his mom. He's just like very messed up in the head, and they find proof like of him online claiming these things. And then social services comes to his house. Like, does he like? Let's say if he didn't do anything, but he's just nuts, and he said he did. Then what do they do?
Oh,
They
well,
have-
so again, he's a lot smarter. Well, I shouldn't say smarter, but he's a lot more aware than he pretends to be. So he really plays up his autism. So we know that it's true when he said it. And then also, he wasn't at home when they arrested him. He was fleeing. The cops caught him with a bunch of money and he was checking into a hotel.
Oh no.
So he was like trying to avoid the cops because he knew he was going to get arrested. And then he plays like, "Oh, I'm autistic." It's like, no, you're aware enough to know what you did was wrong.
Oh dear. Okay. So he knew that the chickens were coming to roost.
Trying to get him to convert to Islam, which were unsuccessful. In February, the court would deem Chris too noted and schizo to stand a trial. During this time, Chris would be sending letters and drawings to the outside world with some of the most insane shit I've ever seen in my life, including Chris claiming that he is Jesus and now goes by chrischan. And then March, Chris would be out of custody. The website VineLink would list Chris as bonded out, but would be quickly changed to released by court order. And as of now, Chris has gone completely dark for the first time in decades.
Okay, wow, that was very fast and did not it was bullet points. Okay. Okay.
You can
So I
always
need
watch the 85-part documentary.
85.
Yeah, I thought it was 66. It's now up to 85.
This is on this Geno Samuel page here.
Yeah. You have to watch the playlist so that way they're in order.
Oh my God.
So go to playlists.
You could do like a 48-hour stream just on chrischan. Playlist. Okay.
The comprehensive history, I think. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, and this one is 40 minutes. Oh, that's not bad. Oh, no, there's many of them.
Yeah, there's 85 of them.
Oh my God. How did this
So-
guy find out all this stuff?
Because everything on chrischan has been documented for over a decade. They weren't kidding in the chat when they said he is the most documented man in history. It's like,
Oh
but you
my
know, Gundam sent me this, and we were talking about something that happened with chrischan. He's like, "Here, watch this." I was like, "Oh, thanks."
Have you watched all this?
I haven't watched all of it. I take like a break every year or two, and then more get added, so I never catch up. But it's easy for me to listen to because I just listen to it while I paint. So
That soothes you? That makes you feel creative?
no, it just keeps my mind occupied.
It's just like, yeah, it's background noise. Dang. Okay. Oh, I'm supposed to have the dark theme on. I don't know how to do that. Matthew Hammond. At least Chrissy looks great. Oh my goodness. Stop it. Thank you. At least Chrissy looks great today. Should I mute? Don't mute. Don't mute. I'm yawning. Sorry. How are you feeling, by the way, Anna? Are you feeling better?
Past 2 days have been better. I got sick last night, but yeah. I'll
Did you
get
tell
there.
the world about what kind of bean you're having?
I think I did. Everyone, it's a boy.
Yeah.
You didn't watch the Jack show.
And you guys should be watching the Jack show.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so excited for you. I really thought for sure you were having a girl because of all the morning sickness you were having.
God. Well, no, everyone that's had boys has told me that you get more morning sickness with boys, and then you're the one over here that's like, you weren't sick at all. I'm like, what the hell?
No, I don't know what happened. I had the best time my first and second trimester. I was like, what's the big deal? I'm like, why are these women all they're just being bitches? Like, what's the fuss about? Oh my God. I think
I hate you.
so weirdly lucky. I didn't throw up once my first trimester. I threw up once my second trimester, but because I had like a crazy stomach bug.
Oh my God.
Unrelated. And I just was puking like for a whole day.
I feel like I spend more time with my face in the toilet than I do anything else.
Wow.
It's bad.
You poor thing. But you're probably getting very thin and chic.
I am. I haven't gained a single pound. It's ridiculous.
And you're like, what, 4 months? You're 4 months
Thanks,
in. Are you showing at all yet?
I think I just look bloated, but I don't know.
Right.
The baby's supposed to be the size of a mango right now. And I'm like, where? Where is this mango in me?
Yeah. I remember feeling like for a long time, like, oh, I just look sort of slightly out of shape. Lewis C, now your soul is tainted. Beware the medallion. I don't think I'm tainted for just watching these videos. Am I?
Just don't put on the medallion if someone sends it to you.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that I know. That was the first thing I learned. But I didn't know that he was the creator. Yikes. But then why did Nick Rekieta put it on if he knew what we all know?
It's a meme. Nobody knew the curse of the Sonnet medallion. Denim did a video on it and how it's affected pretty much everyone that's worn it. Like Donovan had one and he died.
Oh my
Look
God,
what happened with Nick. What's his name? Captain Red Pill died.
My God, it's horrible. Yeah, Donovan choked on pizza.
Is that really what happened?
I think so. Yeah, I think he was eating pizza because the times I hung out with him, he like really knew his angles. I know it's a funny thing to say about a guy, but like he really knew like what angles to like show on camera so that he would look pretty good. But in person, he had a lot of trouble keeping his head up. Like eating and drinking was always a challenge because he just his neck was kind of crunched in, and
Mm.
I think he asphyxiated. Um,
Aw.
hope it wasn't painful. I don't know. It's really horrible. He was such a cool dude. And I hope he wasn't alone. I think his girlfriend was with him. Wow, what a dark. Okay, I don't mean to sorry to go down the dark. Rest in peace. We love you, Donovan. I miss him. He was so funny. My God. Okay. Oh, right. And Venti had a sonnet shoe. Wow. That
Oh,
would
did she?
I
Oh,
think
no.
back in her I think she had one during her He Will Not Divide Us days.
Oh.
But I hope she got rid of it. Wow.
Yeah. I don't know. Venti kind of disappeared, didn't she?
She disappeared. She moved back to New York. Her and Sean broke up. She's starting
Wow.
over. Yeah. She was into crypto last time I talked to her.
Mm.
So, yeah, it's weird. I think the internet really misses her.
Yeah, I haven't talked to her since her birthday.
That was that February?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Oh boy. I mean, I don't know. Okay, this is 85 parts.
Yeah, no, so you don't have to watch it. You do not have time, but I'm just
Each of
telling you.
these are like the shortest. They're all between like 35 and an hour long. Holy shit. I'm just gonna
Yep.
click on one to see what it's like.
Oh gosh.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, there's like hours of him just screaming.
So this Geno Samuel guy made all of these? Holy. This is like his opus. This is a life's work here.
There's an audience.
I want everything about my house off the internet.
Oh, he reminds me so much of Perry Carabello. Wow.
Don't call anybody. What?
Oh my God, look at all these little toys here. All right, this gives me so much anxiety now that I can see it clearly.
Dude, you would hate my studio right now. All my like walls are torn apart.
Oh, what are you doing to your studio? We're just
I sent you
redoing it?
some I texted you some pictures. No, I'm not baby proofing it. I'm just moving everything up and around. It needed a more functional design, I think. But
Yeah, it was kind of tricky. Like you were in close quarters back there. You didn't have too much space.
yeah.
And it's probably good to freshen up, mix it up.
Well, yeah, so whoever was in here before me, they like had drywall, but they didn't like patch it or paint it. So we added more so that way it would go around the door. And then I painted that section. Now I just got to take off the shelves and get everything off the walls to paint and patch up the rest. So,
ooh. But you seem to like home projects.
yeah, you know what? It's nicer when I get to watch the boy do it, but I got to get this done.
Is he going to help you with some of it?
He put up the new drywall for me and we have to go get one more piece, but all the patching and painting is me. And the organizing the action figures is me too.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you know what? You probably I don't know if this is on purpose, but it's good that you're redoing it because you might want to create like a little area to have like a pack and play if you're going to have the baby nearby you while you stream.
I think when I stream, that'll be Peach's turn to watch it.
Okay. Yeah. That's what we've been doing. Like I think only once has like nobody's been here and I've had to have him in like a little bassinet. Then I just sort of like watch him and wait for him to wake up. And once on F&T, I had him strapped to me and like you could see like the top of his head, but he was sleeping and it just feels like you're streaming on borrowed time. Like it's only a matter of time before he's either gonna start crying or need to. And I'm not like about to whip out my boob on camera yet. I'm afraid I'm just gonna like, like just flash everybody, flash and nip.
Have you tried doing like the bottle thing?
Yes, I've been pumping, and so we always keep a couple bottles in the fridge. That way, like if a stream goes long, or if it's like a stream that I'm running, like Simcast or something, like Frank will give him a bottle or two, and that's good. That way, I don't have to like always be jumping off. But then it's tricky because like if he gives the baby a bottle, well then I need to like pump because then like your boobs kind of fill up and it's uncomfortable. So you either need to like
Oh, yay.
every few hours you either need to feed or pump. So if someone's giving the kid a bottle, then it's like, all right, well I have to pump anyway, and then that replaces the bottle that was just fed. It's a whole exciting world that you'll learn about.
This is thrilling. So much to look forward to, Chrissy.
I remember when I was like at your stage of pregnancy, I was just like, oh, I'm going to read all the books. I'm going to be so prepared. And then the time goes by so fast.
I'm not reading anything. I'm just doing what happens.
Yeah, that's probably the way to go. So this is just like a scary montage of him.
What are you gonna do about it?
This is a recap in the beginning.
Oh no.
Never his parents would
I
go.
mean, how is there this much documented like about him? Like it just seems like a lot.
Well, that's the internet.
I guess he just took a lot of because he was on TV. I don't have very many pictures of me from being little. Like, I don't know. He's got like so many of his family. Wow. Like where'd they find all these little pictures of him?
Internet autism at its finest.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Rest of his life may be lost. In 1989, during a weekly trip to the toy store with his mother, Chris picked up a GoBot up on display.
This is a lot.
It's literally like point by point through his life, man. It's intense. Like it's like, this is what you were doing in February in 1989.
How do they know month by month? Like he's in the late 80s. Like
it's documented. I don't know how.
The internet. Wow. Crazy. This is crazy. Okay, Nina, look, everyone, people are trying to have an intervention. They're like, Chrissy, no, what are you doing?
I know, you're cursing yourself.
Is it really a curse to just like dabble a little bit and just watch a little bit?
Maybe a bit, but I mean, you're going to have, if somebody sends you that Sonichu medallion, go and burn it or something.
Oh, hell no.
Or pass on the curse to someone else. Don't wear it. Don't touch it with your hands.
You. What's up, Push-Ups? We Simcast fans miss you dearly, Anna. Oh, thanks, Push-Ups. I saw Push-Ups last night. We had Wet Spot. It was our final Wet Spot episode in the studio.
Oh, what's going on with the studio?
They're closing it.
Aww.
They're gonna do a formal announcement probably in a few days, but I'm gonna be doing some version of it from home, and then it's a good thing that I'm building out the studio because I'm gonna figure out if I would continue that show here in the home studio or maybe find somewhere else. But yeah, it'll all come out in like a week. What's gonna happen? I mean, I'll tell you when we're offline, but yeah. And I know it's so sad because I'm gonna miss all my little bleacher creatures that were there every Monday.
You know, we really should just acknowledge how much this is going to affect Cecil.
Oh, right. Oh my God. Cecil's gonna be homeless. Cecil was so good. He was on my show a lot. He was on Gino's show a lot. Very sad. Wow. Okay. So
there's little orphan Annie. If Annie was like a fat middle-aged bald man.
But we would never know Cecil existed if it weren't for you, Anna.
Yeah. Well, you might have found him eventually.
Like you live in California, but like our consolation prize was like, all right, well, Cecil's in Brooklyn and we can see him.
He can make
we'll still get together. Yeah. And you know what we were thinking of? Like I would maybe have Wet Spot be like a monthly live show, like rent out, either get like a comedy venue or something and just do like a Wet Spot live and just sell tickets that way. And it could be like all the hijinks, but just monthly.
There you go.
No one. Cecil does not need a Sonichu medallion. He needs to like finish losing weight.
Now he's been gaining weight. I want fat Cecil back. I am against the slimming of the Cecil. Make him fat and miserable again. That way his comedy will come back.
Oh, that's true. Like we're all a bit funnier when we hate how we look. Push-ups, wet spots. Wet spot was where I met Anna. Oh, right. You were there. And everyone was like, oh no, is Kumia hitting on you too much?
Oh
And you're
yeah,
like, it's fine. Like I do the Jack show. I'm used to guys.
Like, have you never been around a boy before?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Fealty is fat Fealty. We have fat Fealty right now. We have fat Cecil and fat Chrissy, but I'm gonna think
You had a baby. You have an excuse.
Yeah, but how long? I mean, time's gonna run out. Like maybe it's okay right now, but I would say how many
Do you as long as you don't still look like you're pregnant?
I don't look like I'm pregnant. I just look out of shape. I just look like a regular out of shape person.
Have you been doing your workout thing?
I've been to the gym once, which is not enough. And like I always intend to go. I'm like, all right, I'll feed the baby and I'll go to the 7:30 class, and then things just keep happening. Like I'm either so exhausted from staying up all night, or it's just the timing. I know these kind of sound like excuses, but it's been really tough. So I got to really shift things around so that I can start going. At least maybe I'll make the goal. I'll be like, look, I'm just going to go twice a week and try to maintain that. Because you know what I mean?
Back to it.
You now, like at what point do you go, all right, you didn't just have a baby. Now you need to get it together. I would say 6 months. Right?
I don't know.
Although women stay fat for years and blame baby weight.
Yeah, my mom blamed me for getting fat because all she wanted to eat was like chocolate and candy. And I'm just like, well, you could have lost the weight after you had the baby, Mom.
Yeah.
But my mom was older when she had me, so that's also part of her excuse. But I don't know. Like, I'm at that point where I kind of wish I had some more weight on me just so that way people could tell that I was pregnant. Because it's so embarrassing when it's like I go to the grocery store and I have to run outside to puke. And I just look like I look like I'm a crazy person. At least if I had like a baby belly, people are like, oh, she's pregnant. That's why she's outside puking.
Yeah, they probably think you're hungover.
Yeah, so I'm like I went to a store the other day and I was trying to buy like maternity clothes, but like not maternity clothes because I can't have any kind of like pressure on my stomach or it makes me sick. So I'm stuck to just dresses and rompers.
Okay.
And so I was telling the lady, I was like buying these dresses. I'm like, oh yeah, and like I'm pregnant. I can't have anything putting pressure on my stomach. She was trying to sell me like jeans, like their jeans are on sale. And I'm like, I wish I could wear jeans.
Were you at a maternity store?
I was at Goodwill. No, I'm cheap. Okay. I was at Goodwill. And she was like, oh, are you like a month? And I was like, no, I'm almost 5 months. And she's like, what?
Wow. You know, Nicole Kidman took a long time before she showed that she was pregnant, but she was tall. Yeah. And sometimes it's just how you carry. Maybe it's like, maybe he's just like stretched out in there. And also one of the wet spot fans, Vidal, told me last night, he's like, I didn't want to tell you, but you know, your face really thinned out now that you've given birth. Like your cheeks were puffy and you looked like, I was like, what the? And then I yelled at Keanu. I'm like, Keanu, I thought you said I had no jowls. You were on jowl watch.
No, Nina was the one that was freaking me out because like I had told Nina before everyone else knew. And she's like, Anna, they're going to tell your face is going to swell. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? People's faces don't swell. And she's like, yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do. Everyone's different. Everyone, some people get cankles right away. I didn't get cankles till I was giving birth and they had me like IVs and pumping me full of fluids. But yeah, it's okay. I think you're going to be just smoking hot throughout the whole thing. I think you're not going to have a cankle or jowl. It's going to be good.
We'll see.
Yeah, it's weird because I feel, even when I'm walking around, I feel like my lower back still feels stiff. Like I feel like I've lost flexibility just
go to a chiropractor
in my like lower half. And I don't know if that's normal, but maybe that's just from not
Chiropractor,
not
get
going
that
to
shit
gym.
popped.
Yeah, I need someone to just hock to up. Yes. Okay. And I'm not breathing like a rhino anymore, which is good. That is one side effect, Anna. You may start breathing like a rhino.
How do
Like
rhinos breathe?
like like you breathe a little bit heavier on your third trimester because the kid, like, it pushes everything up, like including your lungs, and you're just sort of like you're just breathing heavier.
Mm.
That's
Well, we'll
fun.
see if this thing even decides to grow bigger. Well, it's weird because in the ultrasounds, I can see that it's like significantly bigger every time I go in. And I'm like, but where are you hiding in there? Like, how much
Right.
space do I have in here? Am I like a kangaroo?
So I got pregnant in July. I didn't really start seeing anything pop out, I think, until like October or even like November, July, August, September. Yeah, 4 or 5 months. So maybe in the next month or so, you'll start seeing it.
Enjoy during the heat of summer.
Yay! You're gonna have a fun summer.
Yeah, I saw this one Instagram vid where the lady's like, oh, the best time to get pregnant is in March. So that way you have a cute baby bump all summer and then you're super fat during October and Thanksgiving and no one can judge you.
That is good.
And
Oh,
I'm just
wow.
like, well, I don't have a cute summer baby bump. I just look bloated and I can't wear 2 pieces anymore.
Oh, you could rock a one piece.
Yeah, I
And
usually wear like a 1 piece, but still, I'd like to have the option of wearing a 2 piece.
maybe a tankini.
What's that?
Tankini is just like a tank top. It's like a long top and then regular bikini bottoms.
Eh.
Yeah, that's probably like it's not the same thing for sure.
Hey,
But
you've seen my swimsuit. It's like a long sleeve wetsuit thing.
oh yeah, that's cute. Like a little rash guard type thing. Oh yeah, I have bathing suits right here next to me. Probably don't fit in them. Let's see. Da, 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 da. Oh,
Don't let anyone shame you, Anna. I'm shaming myself.
this was my freaking favorite bathing suit. Oh my god, I loved this bathing suit.
Is that your Prego bathing suit or
No, this this was what I wore when I was in shape. It just looks really big, like not on me. But I freaking love this bathing suit. Oh, maybe I'll try it on. I'll humor myself later. Cause I'm like I was probably like a size 4, like 4 to 6 in my like my wedding, like heyday, good shape. And now I'm probably like a 10, 12, which is huge. But it's interesting. I'll just have to just keep going to the gym.
there you go.
I bought this Bucky's bathing suit
Oh.
during one of my trips to Texas. This actually might fit. Who knows? I'm just gonna wear a burqa until my situation improves.
Yeah, I'm on to giant t-shirts and very loose dresses and rompers right now.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna be a cute Prager.
We'll see. Right now I'm tired of being a sick Prager.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I hope you can keep food down. Isn't it crazy? And the whole thing about why you have to take prenatals and stuff is the baby is going to take whatever it wants from your body. Like it's, you don't have to eat a certain way. It's like you're eating a certain way and taking vitamins for yourself because there have been times, like, let's say, if a woman, not that she was addicted to drugs, but if there have been anorexic women who aren't taking their prenatals or whatever, and then like the baby like leaches the calcium basically out of their teeth. So there have been reports of women's like teeth falling out because they're not taking the right vitamins. Because the baby like just fucking takes what it wants, and then the vitamins are for you to replenish what the baby's taking. So that's why when you hear counts of people like losing their teeth and shit, it's because the baby's just sucking it out.
Little shits.
Very exciting.
I know, right? Thrilling, all the wonderful things that can happen. At this point, I'm just glad it's a boy. I'm like, okay, I got my boy. The rest of it, I'm just like,
I've heard people say that like that girl babies steal your beauty. That's what
what my
Keanu says.
sister-in-law said.
They suck it out of you. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, my sister-in-law told me that because I went around and I filmed everyone before we did the gender reveal, and I was like, "Do you think it's a boy or a girl?" And she's like, "Boy," because of that. And I was like, "Oh, that was nice of you."
Boy, because you're still hot. Aw, that's cool. Are you taking prenatals?
Yeah, actually, Dixie got my prenatal vitamins, took it outside and ate the entire thing, so she was sick for a day. We had to like give her something to throw it up because I guess
But
it's toxic.
she probably had such a shiny coat.
I know, right? But I got
know.
this new one. It's like the strawberry flavored gummies because I didn't really like the other ones, and so
Ooh,
it's
okay.
just a lot. I don't really like vitamins, so
No. What did I take? In the beginning, I took something called Smarty Pants, which are gummies, prenatal gummies, which were pretty good. And then I went and took Nordic Naturals because I read that those are a little more like hardcore. But those are like,
vitamins in general make me sick. Like even before I was pregnant, if I took vitamins, I'd puke. So
yeah. And then there's also something you should take called like a DHA supplement. It's like an omega.
no, thank you.
It's for, but they make it in gummy form,
Yeah.
like a little orange gummy.
It's hard enough to get anything down as it is. I can't add more to this regiment right now. Maybe when
Yeah.
I start feeling better, but I'm lucky if I get one meal in a day and I can keep it down.
Yeah.
Eat real food. I have been eating real food. I haven't eaten my diet at all since I got pregnant. I haven't had Mio since I got pregnant.
I know. That's kind of incredible.
It sucks.
So you're having chicken.
Chicken and cheese.
Are you able to, are there any fruits that you like can eat without throwing up?
I like fruit, but they'll make me sick. So
All right. Just listen. Yeah, just listen to your body. You'll be fine.
listen to the alien.
Oh yeah, are you still having your dirt cravings?
No, I never craved dirt. I've never craved dirt. I think people just take a joke and exaggerate it. No, I will try dirt like once a year if I go to a new place, and I stream that for your guys' amusement.
Do you eat it wet? I imagine it'd be easier to eat wet dirt.
No, the mud is disgusting. You have to eat dry dirt. The drier, the better.
Really?
Yeah. I have a stream where I go and I eat dirt at the Hoover Dam. You should watch it.
Ooh, I will. I love the Hoover Dam.
Yeah, I realize some of your, I guess, acquaintances, they're the ones bringing up the dirt thing, thinking that it's an own.
Oh
Some
God,
kind of,
really?
but it's with like the rackets drama that I'm getting dragged into, and so, yeah.
They're calling you a filthy dirt eater.
Yeah, but I'm like, one of them is a morbidly obese pig, and the other, I was telling you, I was like, it's like Daffy Duck and Porky Pig, but worse.
You mean
crying about this, and I'm like, you have no reason to, cry about this. So it's like, at least my thing is humorous, but no, the dirt thing keeps coming back up, and I'm like, how is that an own? I don't understand.
It's not.
funny.
It's not an own when you're open about it.
I know.
Oh, Pushup says, was it a normal face hugger or an Alien 3 Royale one?
Regular. Alien 3 doesn't exist. There's only 2 Alien movies. There's Alien and Aliens.
So there, Pushups. In your face. Okay. I feel like I need to go feed the bean.
And I have to go film a video.
Ooh, okay. Oh my God, it was good to talk to you, Anna, and I'm glad you were here to usher me through my introductory into Chrischan. I may
go back to sanity, girl.
I may do another video.
Oh gosh, I sent you the Gundam curse video. Go and watch it.
Oh, I will. Okay. I will. That's what I will do. Everybody, if you haven't followed Anna at this point, I can't help you. I don't know what to tell you. You should be subscribed to her YouTube and following her on Twitter at That Star Wars Girl. And Anna, as soon as you have your baby registry up and running, let me know, or I'll just send you stuff.
I have to make one of those, don't I?
Yeah, I can help you with that.
I don't want anything.
You know what I did? I watched a bunch of YouTube videos about like what to put in my registry, and I just sort of.
I'm at that point where I'm like, I don't have space for anything yet.
Yeah, you don't need everything right away. You just
Yeah.
need a bassinet right away and diapers and wipes. That's really it. Um, and then maybe later like a baby carrier, but you need very little right away. But people will want to send you stuff, so it's good to have a registry.
I guess one of my friends sent me the first like clothing for it. It says like future Starfleet captain on
Oh,
it, which was cute. That
that's
was
really
before she knew it was a boy, so I was like, "Aw,
that works out. Oh, little bean. Cool. I'm excited for you, Anna.
thanks." We'll see. I'm nervous. It's gonna be painful.
I was nervous too. Don't worry. The painful part, it's like not for a long time. And even now I don't really remember it. Like it's pretty quick and then it's gone and then you forget about it.
Uh-huh. My mom hasn't forgotten.
Oh. Does she have an epidural?
For me, yes.
Yeah. You'll be okay. You're a tough cookie. All right. Thank you,
Mm.
chat. We will join you next time for maybe Chrischan part 2. All right. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.